So why did I say beware? History repeats itself. I said it because recently I saw an interview with Damon Wilson, who played Lamont Sanford on the show Sanford and Son with Red Fox. In his interview, in correlation to what's going on today, especially with P. Diddy, he mentions that Shirley Temple, who was a child star back in the 1930s, was sexually abused according to her memoirs. And he repeatedly mentions that there is nothing new under the sun, which is so very true. And back in the 1930s, people who did evil could hide things for years at a time because there was no social media, because there was no TV, and in the newspapers, depending on your stardom, they would try to cover for you. Sexual sins back then was very prevalent. It's just that the culture kept it hidden under a rug. But in comparison to now, everything's out in the open, and in some degree, some things are still hidden, but eventually it all comes to the forefront. But it's such a shame that today's generation refuses to learn or be bothered with something from 10 years ago, 30 years ago, and dare I say even 70 years ago, for which they really could care less. So with that thought process, you'll never learn and go forward unless you learn from the past to avoid the pitfalls of Satan. Some of you will get what I'm saying, and most of you won't. But count it as blessing if you do. Enough said.